We are back for the last game of the league here. We are on the draw, and this is our hand. We're going to keep. Just a friendly reminder, we are playing for the 5-0 here. So, exciting times. Did our opponent message us? Is that what that was? Okay. Sometimes when you're 4-0, people message you like, what's your record? Alright, so it looks to be a snake deck. Could also be a mono green deck. We're going to kill this. Just do the old curvaroo. Alright, so it is green black snake. Or it could be some mono green list at the beginning of the format did play this card. Looks to be snake. They have a Brontofather in hand. Alright, we're gonna just draw a card. Try and hit some Lord effects. Now they have Brontodon, our best Lord effects actually the Lord, I think. Which is interesting. So Woodland Cemeteries refuses to load its art for us. So this game looks like one so far where we're not drawing into a Lord. Those games are harder. We have drawn a lot of Lords, but we do play 8 of them. So we still got some time before we actually want to play one. Brontodon seems good. Get another Adventurous Impulse. Probably wanted to Impulse first, but rewarded. I know what that's like. Always lucky. Story of my life. I'm just going to play Legion Zealot. Hopefully try and get them to 2-for-1 us. Ixalan's Binding. Interesting. I'm hoping they just play Ballista and fire off. Since we don't have a Lord, you know, it's obviously not great for us. We lose our whole board, but oof, okay. That's rough. Ballista. So now we're in an interesting spot. I want to cast out. I want to Binding the Brontodon. They'll probably pop. I need to cycle to find a Lord effect too for after that. I think that's the play. Could be wrong. Alright, so we drew another one of these. So let's try and get this on the board. We have to target Brontodon. I guess we could target this. It forces the Brontodon kill. Actually, if we target this, it forces the kill, right? Because it will flicker it regardless. So getting this off the board is actually the most important thing we can do. That makes sense to me. And then if they kill it in response, like the Brontodon to kill that, we're quite happy. Right. Reasonable. All reasonable. As long as they don't have another Walking Ballista, I think we can come back from this. We have another Binding, which will Binding the Brontodon. And then if we draw a Fatal Push, we can like kill a snake. We're taking 6 going to 9. This is the power of the main deck Brontodon, though. Another snake, alright. Another Ballista. Alright, I think we are dead because of the Ballista. So we're going to go to 6 regardless. So the best thing we can do is cycle and hit a Fatal Push and Fatal Push this. So we play this. We play this. They pump. They shoot our team and attack us. Yes. So what would happen is we would play this. They would shoot it and then just pump this up and kill us. So game 2. Maybe I was too aggressive with the Fatal Push on the elf. Very possible. We're going to bring in Fatal Push. We're going to bring in Settle the Wreckage. And we're going to bring in, I think, Doomfall. Not quite sure. Let's see what we don't want. I'm less high on Ixalan's Binding post-board. They're going to bring in Brontodons for all our stuff. And then I think Martyr Desk is just not that good. It's fine for like vampire spots, but I guess the question is, which would we rather have, that or this? They're going to go bigger post board, Vraska, stuff like that. Immortal Sun is hard to commit to in a post-board scenario because of Thrashing Brontodon, but you could argue that we can just overload threats. I think that's fine. I'm not actually sure. I could just blame Doomfall. Doomfall would just always kill something. These are like liabilities to an extent. This is like a way to win the game. Because Vraska is pretty good against us. Alright. We're going to try this. This card was originally meant for like weird scenarios and control, but it's been pretty good the other times we brought it in. This hand's good. We're going to keep lead on this. So maybe it was, I think we were too aggressive with our Fatal Push. We should have correctly identified that it was Snake, and that if it was a green Stompy deck, we just don't actually have to kill it that quickly. So if they have a Fatal Push, they will not want to Fatal Push Dusk Legion Zealot unless they just want to be mana efficient. Siphoner, that card's quite good. Alright, we're going to play our Queen's Companion. Actually, if we play Radiant Destiny, it can't get duressed. But neither, we actually have 2 cards they want to answer, so we didn't tap our mana correctly. White. We're going to attack for 1. I do feel like we have to pressure them a little bit. If we draw a land, though, so we're going to play Call to the Feast if we draw a land, and then play Radiant Destiny. Otherwise, we're probably just going to play Radiant Destiny, get it down the board, start bashing. We do have Settle, so as the game goes on, we'll have an answer. Lifecrafter's Bestiary. That's a good way to grind. That card's real. They can actually force us to trade our vampires, which I don't really actually want to do. It looks like they have enough card advantage that I'm actually okay with taking this. If we top deck another Lord, unfortunately we have a Scavenging Grounds, which will suck, but we're going to actually just take this because we want our board, and they want to answer our board, so... Our opponent's taking some time. We're just going to draw Fatal Push and Fatal Push this anyways, so it'll be Gonski. Right, so we drew a Swamp. So now, play this. Play this. Try and lead to double spells turns. I could have played this to have a wider board, but I think we do want to get like damage on the board and start pressuring. Even though, oh, we definitely should have done that because we could have double Lord. I'm so dumb. I didn't think about that. Double Lord, like playing that plus this is way better than playing this turn. Silly me. We do pressure their life total a little bit more this way, but like sooner, but long term we do not. Like on the next turn we would have 3 more vampires in play, and then we would have 2 lords in play, so all our things would be 3/3s. Now they might have Ballista at that point, but let's see what they're scrying. Puts a card on bottom, so they're digging. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents for the Lady's Blessing. They're impulsing. They're trying to find a Ballista, Thrashing Brontodon, that kind of stuff. And they've conceded. All right, so it looks like they were looking for lands, or they just knew they couldn't overcome that. Back to the thinking, though. Do we want Martyr of Dusk? Probably not. Looks like they're going to try and grind us with Lifecrafter's Bestiary and stuff. It could just be we want another cast out effect. There's actually some merit in just bringing in like Arguel's Bloodfast and just being like, hey, we're going to draw cards. That would break a parity pretty quickly. Actually also targets our Brontodon, and flipping late game isn't the worst thing for us. This is an interesting hand. It's basically a mulligan, so we're going to mulligan. Alright, this hand is good. We're going to keep, and we'll keep that on top. Perfect. What are they going to do? Adventurer's Impulse. This should inform our decision. They've taken an elf. Okay. Well, I don't want to kill the elf. I want to play our stuff, so we'll just go like this. I think I'd much rather save our Fatal Push for Walking Ballista, Snakes, Brontodons even, so. Looks like they're leaving up Fatal Push too. So if they do, we don't want to play this because we don't want to give them that tempo. I think we'd much rather play this. Okay, so it looks like they are trying to tempo us with a Fatal Push. Argool's Bloodfast coming in here. But now, if we draw some more lands, we just need one more land, really. Now, unfortunately, we can't actually... We could use Argool's to find the land, but I think we're much better off actually playing Radiant Destiny. There actually is a world where we just play Legion Lieutenant. But with this, if they play the Brontodon, we're going to have troubles regardless, so we'll get this out, play this, have a swole board. This would be 4, 5, 6, 9. We'd be 1 permanent off. They didn't have Verdurous Gearhulk, which was real worries for us there. Walking Ballista here could be a problem. If they do play Walking Ballista, we're just going to have to Fatal Push it, I think, and then play Legion's Lieutenant. Now, if we draw a Queen's Commission, we would skip all of that, which is pretty great. They thought about not attacking, which could mean Walking Ballista. Thrashing Brontodon. Okay. The Thrashing Brontodon's interesting. We just need to play Call of the Feast. It's going to force the Brontodon's hand. Did I, like, mess up on my tapping somewhere? Black, white, this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're going to probably kill this. So Argool's, you know, hasn't been super great, but if we lock the ground up, Argool's will be great. So they Fatal Pushed a Vampire. Interesting. Curious to see how they plan to play this. This is a Walking Ballista. It's quite big. Verdurous Gearhulk. Okay. Interesting. We're probably dead here. If they attack wrong, we can live, I think. The Thrashing Brontodon, though, is the real problem. Okay, so they're leaving up Rishkar so they can... Wait, why aren't they leveling up Rishkar? It's interesting. Huh. So they can't actually kill this, so we could trade off for one of these. I think we want to trade with Rishkar. Because Rishkar makes all of them into elves. It is legendary, which kind of stinks. I think they thought they could tap this to blow this up to get us. So we're going to take 3 here. Go to 10. Another Radiant Destiny. That's interesting. We needed a land so we could do it all. We could attack with our Vampire. So if we play Call of the Feast and attack with our Vampire, that doesn't actually do anything. So playing Call of the Feast has to be the play, though, right? Because it puts enough Vampires on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So we would have the Blessing, which doesn't matter a whole lot. We can play Legion's Lieutenant and Fatal Push. We can draw a card. That's aggressive, though. I think our Argool's is going to flip, though, and eventually get us there. Or get us there, sorry. Misspoke. They attack with just the Gearhulk. We go to 4. This is weird, but I think we just need to play this. Pass back. and then have them attacking us. We block for the minimum amount we can. Play our 2 lords, have the Argols flip too, which is important. Not die to Ballista, do all that, and then slam back at them. Okay, so currently this is 10 damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to block all here, gain the most amount of life we can. They might pop this just to clear most of the board. But if they do that, we can, I think, recover still. If they don't do that and they want to just deal damage, we're going to gain 8 life. So we're actually only going to take 2. Vraska's Contempt, their own thing. That was a really good play on their part. I didn't actually think about Vraska's Contempt or Fatal Push. I should have thought about Vraska's Contempt for Fatal Push. And now that I'm thinking about it, that makes a lot of sense. Just to, like, throw one underneath the Brontodon. But it felt like, I don't know, I don't think you would leave in those cards against me. It could just be they had too many bad cards to take out. Not enough to take out. But regardless, we 4-1 there. Very easily could have 5-0'd. Maybe we should have thought about Vraska's Contempt. Not sure if that is a thing I should have done or not. Think more about that. But yeah, this deck seems pretty powerful. We played against not a whole lot of red-black, but our red-black game we did play against felt pretty good. There was a game where we grinded pretty hard. They got mana screwed one game. That is the problem with their deck. You know, they're trying to curve out on people, and sometimes that can't happen. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video series, and a 4-1's nothing to laugh at. So I'll see you amigos next time.